All right, how you do? Welcome. We're here in class today. I'm recording Zoom this time, so we'll get a full Zoom's recording for people who aren't here. We're going to start off by doing what we have already started off by doing what we always do, and that's talking about stuff we've watched. Heard some good stuff already. Sound out in the chat if you got something worth discussing. Otherwise, let's watch something. It's always good to start by watching. Let's see if I got it right. Let's take a look. Yeah, I should. Thank you, Bryce. All right. I'm going to screen share. Great call. Great call. Let's watch this. And then since we're here, we might as well change the audio to the right thing too. I love Zoom. It's the best in the world. Looks like it's playing through the HDMI right there. Cool. All right. And then we want to go back to this. No, that's wrong. We'll go here. All right. All right. Should turn that up. All right, here we are. We're back at it. Let's take a look. Elise, I'm gonna hide you. All right, down here. And this dumb thing that I always have to hide video. No, I hit the wrong one. Hide floating meeting controls. Okay, great.
You never know what kind of diseases you're carrying on your body. Remember, keep your mask on, because you never know whose life you might be affecting by just being near them.
Okay. Okay. This is a PSA. Now, reminder, our PSA projects are due when? Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. We all knew that, right? Yeah. So hopefully you all shot them already or need to shoot them today and or put them together. We'll be discussing editing, basic editing for not only the editing people, but everybody included is going to learn concepts of editing. But I do wanted to show some old PSAs that I've received. What did we think of that PSA?
Most PSAs are going to have like a page to a screen, put some text on the screen, and it's like it lets you linger there and really think on it.
Yo, boom, just one and done kind of tells us the point. But do we? So the point is, it's not doesn't have to be a masterpiece. Yeah, Michael, what do you?
It's supposed to be like those cigarette commercials where they have the person saying, write something down because you'll forget it. Goes, oh God, whatever. Oh, smoking affects that. Yeah. Yes, it seemed like that format.
So this class that I'm pulling these are from an old semester. So they're students, they still might be students at GAP. So I'm gonna be very kind because this is being recorded. But that being said, this person got full credit on their PSA because they're not being judged on how technically well it is. They're being judged on if they were told me a persuasive story and they did 15 seconds. And what was the point of their PSA? What did they tell us to do or not do? Wear a mask. How come? Not to get people sick. We don't know what's in our body, right? And they filmed it in one continuous take and they did the method, which was, do you remember what it was called? Which PSA have we watched in the past that this one's similar to? This is Your Brain on Drugs, right? It was someone on camera looking at the camera telling us, the audience, what to do. It's called a authority figure PSA. So this person, they even shot it from a lower angle. If we take a look at that, obviously shot it by themselves. My point is, you can get a good grade on this PSA. The most important element is putting together a cohesive story. If they had built this and then just said like, learn how to read, I would have been like, that's not persuasive. You didn't really tell me a story with it. Now, I agree with Maston. Maston?
Yes, Maston.
Maston. Okay, thank you. I knew I was doing it wrong. Maston. I agree with Maston that they could have put up a title card at the end and said, don't wear a mask. And then here's a website for more information. You should wear a mask, or wearamask.com, or don't wear a mask.com. Okay. Make sense? Questions, comments? We're going to watch a couple more examples.
You never know what kind of teacher family.
All right, here we go. I'm logged in as Christopher Ranch. That could have been a problem. All right, let's do this. Let's switch out of here. And then let's go.
Oh, wow. It's lost.
Okay. All right, let's watch this one. Oh. Okay. What do we think of that one? Other than it was sideways. Why is it sideways? Yeah, it's on YouTube Shorts, right? Yeah. Yes. This was last semester. So it was uploaded like this. So uploaded incorrectly, but shot landscape, which I appreciated, just uploaded to Shorts rather than to YouTube. So why do you think I'm showing you this? Well, it's also, I hope you can learn from others' mistakes and be like, hey, if you uploaded incorrectly, guess what? Didn't earn full credit because it's like, okay, you shot in landscape mode, but you uploaded in portrait mode. That makes it even hard, because then I'm like, okay, so then I can go like, okay, cool. All right, I guess I'll watch it like this because I'm going to watch it. Yeah, so that being said, we all know it's the wrong aspect ratio. Did anybody try to read what it said, and or what was the point of this PSA? Don't litter. Make sure to recycle. I think that's the start actually, because it restarts, right? All right, let's watch it again and make sure. Okay. So it's sideways. What did we think about the message though? What method did they use to convey what their message was? No dialogue on the bottles. Yeah. So they used visual elements, right? They put happy and sad. They told a story, and the way that they helped tell their narrative is technically there is dialogue on this piece. They used words, right? So the words are telling us the story, right? There's no spoken dialogue. There's no sound dialogue, but dialogue can be on the screen. And so they use, and this is a perfectly, what I like what they did was they used text on the screen to tell us not only facts of plastic bottles and magazines, but the call to action is what this, right? Reduce, reuse, recycle. That's the call to action. That's what the PSA is doing. And that's what I'm looking for. Now, where this one is not successful, other than being sideways, is when you put fonts on the screen. How many of you, other than also had to flip it to sideways, could read the text the first time we watched it?
It's hard to really contrast the background colors. It blends it.
Yes. Nick.
How is it hard to look at it?
It's way too fast. That's what I was going for. When we're putting fonts on the screen, I'm going to tell you right now, I personally, the way that I put fonts up is I like to read it out loud 3 times before I take it off the screen. That, first of all, I'm dyslexic. I'm slightly dyslexic, which means I'm a slower than average reader and comprehender. So if I can read it 3 times out loud, that's going to give anybody at any reading level the ability to absorb what the fonts are. Have you ever noticed that when something's on the screen, what happens to the fonts after you absorb what it says? You stop paying attention to it. You look to whatever else is in the screen, right? So that's like subtitles. In a foreign film, you read the subtitles and I look up and look at everything. But with some movies or some, see, I think these ones work effective because it's slowly popping on. It's this last font here at the end. Watch how fast it goes. Especially for your call to action at the end, I'd probably want that at least like triple the size or length at least. We'll talk more about that if you do fonts. But remember, didn't have to be on camera, didn't have to do anything but fonts and edit it together. Yes.
I was gonna say they could probably add like a stroke slash border to the text.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk about drop shadows or strokes or stuff to help because yeah, on black it was fine. On other instances, you kind of fade into it. It makes it harder to read specifically. All right.
I really can't stress how well that move is. You have them all just smiling and it ends with them being thrown into there. Like, that is sadly.
All right, let's watch this one. Oh no, I'm drawing. Annotate. Why do you have to always be right there? All right.
It's like bonsai buddy. It's always there.
Imagine an ocean without life, a silent world beneath the surface. It's hard to believe, isn't it? But this could be our future if overfishing continues. Every minute, countless fish are taken from our oceans, far exceeding their natural reproduction rates. This imbalance doesn't just threaten marine life, but it jeopardizes our own future as well. It's a chain reaction. Less fish leads to weakened oceanic ecosystems, which can disrupt the balance of life on the planet. But there is hope. If we reduce our seafood consumption, support sustainable fishing practices, and encourage our governments to enforce stricter fishing regulations, we can help restore balance. Because remember, our actions today determine the oceans of tomorrow. You have the power to make a difference. Don't let our oceans become silent. Preserve the life beneath the waves. This is a call to action for our oceans, for our future. Looking back, it's hard to imagine an ocean without life, isn't it? But if overfishing continues,
Random door in the meadow.
Okay. Hey, good job. Remember. Hey, by the way, if you're in this class and I play your PSA and I don't recognize you, please just shout it out so I don't like insult you to your face. That wasn't anybody's, right? Probably not because that wasn't anybody's. What? What was the point of this PSA? What was the call to action? Fishing? Don't overfish. Yeah, we need to. Why do you think it was kind of confusing?
I felt like a lot of the messages kind of got a little mixed together because it was in a way of like support like fishing from your like local individual, but also make laws to make it so that we can't overfish. And some of the visuals were weird too.
I could have better thing to have just talked about like whaling, because everyone's against whaling. Yeah, that's an easy one. But, I mean,
What else? What else do you think? Why do you think this didn't work? You didn't like the random images. Okay, what this one did that was different from the other PSAs is it had a voice of God. Remember, we talked about a voice of God PSA. We had a voice that was talking, kind of was little James Earl Jones's, but it basically was telling us what to do. And then they used stock photos to help do a montage, which you can you don't have to film anything. That's my point is you could download footages off of YouTube and rewrite something, record yourself, the audio, or use like a robot speaker for you. But why was this one not successful? This is a great example of like a video that like I hate to my core. No offense to this person. This person most likely had to remake this. Nick, was he announcing what he was doing? Yeah, let's watch it again.
Imagine an ocean without life, a silent world.
You didn't remove the things from
It's hard to believe,
spreads.
isn't it? But this could be our future.
He's right. It is a text to speech.
Every minute, countless fish are taken from
And
our
you can hear
oceans.
it.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, right. AI, yes. AI, the person fed something into AI and just submitted it. I'm guessing based off the images too, especially when we get to the random hand stuff, that this is just an AI generated film. Like they make sites that can, and I see a fair amount of these every semester. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm anti-AI. I don't like AI, but I will tell you this, what? Previous semester. This is a good, I'm anti-AI, but I live in reality. I understand that some of you may want to use AI. I would prefer you don't. Let me tell you though, if you, there will be jobs in the future incorporating AI, but our jobs as the human cogs working for the AI machine is we will be there to correct the mistakes that AI is for them. So this person had AI write the script and I think said, here's the open. If we continue to listen, the AI robot says call to action, right? Like that's the thing I've been saying. What's the call to action, right? Listen. And I'm going to say, I think the AI just either the images don't look too crazy. There's a couple that are like really, like the door one is obviously an AI thing, but I don't know if it's like collecting AI footage, but this is some program.
This imbalance doesn't just threaten the region, but it jeopardizes our own future as well. It's a chain reaction.
Oh, we got a comment here. Hold on a second. We'll jump in here. Base King Tim. Yeah. I don't like AI. Because also I'm saying, I'm showing you the easiest way possible. If you would have just filmed yourself saying like, is your brain on drugs? I'd be like, that's more effective than like, hey, I tried to teach a robot how to make a PSA. And guess what? Here.
To weaken oceanic ecosystems, which can disrupt the balance of life on the planet. But there is hope. If we reduce our seafood consumption, support sustainable fishing practices, and encourage our governments to enforce stricter fishing regulations, we can help restore the balance. Because remember, our actions today determine the oceans of power to make a difference. Don't let our oceans become silent. Preserve the life beneath the waves. This is a call to action.
Call to action.
Looping back. It's hard to imagine an ocean.
Loop. This is my favorite part though. Watch. Watch. Watch.
Looping back. It's hard to imagine an ocean without life, isn't it?
Watch. That's my favorite. And this is like the most telling thing is the person wants to do the least amount of work possible because if they would have edited out where it says looping back and the video just like ends, I could be like, that's a weird video. Like I would have been like, it's probably AI, but like the fact that like, you know, maybe if I'm like grading and it's midnight, I'm blurry eyed, it's been all day, I could have been like, oh, okay, that's like maybe I would have gotten tricked. But like that where it just cuts off in the middle is going to be like, oh, yeah, okay. And then going back and being like, oh, okay, they said cold open at the beginning. That's weird. Okay, so please don't use AI. But what I can say is if you want to write a script and then put it into a robot reader as your voice of God, I don't have a problem with that as long as you edit the image to go with it. I don't want you to have a robot write the script and then feed another robot the script that the first robot wrote, and then have that third robot pick images for the thing, because it's going to become this beautiful disaster right here, which I think is our favorite. And I shouldn't show the person's name. Don't say it out loud. All right. Okay. Let's take a look at this one. We'll watch a couple more and then get into it.
And seeing this pop up. Well, that's your eardrum in this one. 10 years, that's probably not a good sign. So let's talk about it. The timer for one month is definitely great for eardrums. Make sure not to wear it because now, speakers, multiple speakers, or any type of speakers, is more acceptable because it's not right in the ears or on. So I suggest better because these are just going straight to your eardrum, just straight. Make sure speakers, or phone speaker, or any portable Bluetooth speaker, handheld speakers, rather than earphones, headphones. Things such as that. That's the one side that picture.
Whew. Oh, I mean, yes, much better than the AI one. What was the call to action with this? Use a speaker instead of a headset, right? Because of what? Because of why? What, where? Yeah, exactly. So this one is way better than the last one, right? Like direct call to action. Now, technically, which one do you think is better? This one or the last one?
This one.
This one for sure, because it was edited in time. Now, I will say, what are some of the negatives to this one? No.
A little chop. I like the fan in the background.
I feel like there's too much camera movement, so it kind of just detracts from the actual words. And
Great.
just-
Yeah. Okay. So technically, again, remember, all of you, we're all criticizing, but we'll watch your videos next week, right? So let's make sure if you hate the camera movement, you think about that when you film, because what could we use if we're filming on our phone? A tripod, or we could just lean it up against something. I mean, you can absolutely tell when people are filming with like something with their camera, because they're all like most camera phones are like filmed from above or from below because people are like, I'm gonna put it on the table and then it's all like small, right? Or lower angled. Okay, composition, yes. The fan is distracting, right? But what was positively speaking about this subject was actually lit, used a light to light their face, which is notable because when they're holding the camera, we see the shadow in there. So that's something to think about. Shadows, and then the angle, we're seeing the fan. Notably also ended up using graphics, overlaying graphics, telling us like, hey, here's this. And yeah, I get these loud alert things all the time. That's why I probably have hearing damage, or at least the industry I've worked in has damaged my hearing. I would also suggest that you don't have to be a great performer. You don't have to be a great presenter. You don't have to be a great actor. This one probably could have used a little more editing, cut it down a little bit, maybe done a second take. Who knows? Maybe this was the fifth take and this is the best take that was available. Definitely edited some stuff out. There's like a jump cut there at the end. I think where it's not effective is he ends up restating, this is a public service announcement. It's like, okay, we got it. We know this is your public service announcement. But just for clarification, it's a minute 40. It could probably just be a minute and be fine, right? Also, I will note who liked this part.
It's right there. I believe that is just straight up in your settings. That looks like
What does the font say?
top left. It looks like it's actually in.
What's the font say?
Font is about headphone. Oh yeah, no, I can't see that.
Yeah, okay. So notably right here, you can't read this because it's white on white, right? So that's where we will talk about a stroke or yeah. But fact check PSA. Yeah, look, it says PSA again. Good. All right, let's watch one more student submission. Hmm. All right, let's check this one out.
We live in a world beating with urgency, breathing with difficulty, breaking at necessity. We are a society consumed by technology, compact in proximity, choked by inactivity. We are global, we are responsible, we are trending, we are too inactive. Everyone, everywhere, every day. We have a plan. It's time to activate our governments, to activate our environment, to activate our society, to activate ourselves. It's time to activate movement, to activate improvement, to reverse our direction, to activate new trends. We need to alert. We need to activate. Every day. Way too much activity, I think. I'm so
What was the call to action there?
reactive.
Active. They said that. What'd you say? It was what too much? Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds like I'm listening to like a Star Trek episode.
What else do we think about this one? It generally looks like what? Sure. I mean, a PSA is a commercial basically, but anybody else? Yeah.
How would you get this kind of footage?
How would you get this kind of footage? Well, like I said, you can go on YouTube and download other people's footage for this project, right? Like if you wanted to do something like this, you would take something and put it together and then maybe write a script and use the robot voice that this person clearly is a robot voice and put it under it. Or if you were this student, you would just turn in somebody else's PSA that they absolutely turned this in. It wasn't their work. So please do your own work. That's the point of this one is this was, I was able to find the original. This one was just like a little too good. I was like, so it was either like, this is like a well done AI PSA, which I was like, okay, if they use PSA successfully, I can't fault them for making something really good. I was like, maybe this is AI because that whole active thing, like it became word vomit at some point. But then I went on YouTube and just typed in the World Health Organization active, and I found this video listed on somebody else's thing.
So in that original video, does it also have the active?
Yeah, yeah.
Is there the exact same footage, or is it just like
It was the exact same video.
everything?
Yeah. As a teacher, some people try to get me, and I got to say, if you put in enough work to try to cheat and get me, and I don't catch you, hey, respect. But you could have put that much effort into like making an actual video, right? Yeah, like if you're gonna put in that much work to cheat, like this one was like, hey, I'm just gonna download a PSA and see if like he's ever seen this PSA again. But just know that I'll either be like, wow, this person's a real talent, and then halfway through I'll be like, huh, this is like, we had one person turn in like the most amazing drone footage I'd ever seen, and I'm like, Grant and I were like watching it, and I'm like, either they're the best drone pilot we've ever seen, or they just stole this footage, and it's like footage of like a glacier in Iceland, and I was like, hey, when'd you go to Reykjavik or whatever it was called? Yeah, so all right. So that being said, with those examples, do we here, let's stop sharing. Do we check? Okay, I thought I was going to do the echo thing. Do we feel confident about making our PSAs by Sunday? Yes. What? It lowered your standards, right? Yeah, well, that's the point, is little by little, each project builds onto the next one. On Thursday, we will watch some of what the next project is to give you examples to be starting to think about it. But today we'll do those are great examples. I'm going to go into a lecture, and then after the lecture, we'll have lab, and all of you can come up to me and we can talk about filming your PSA, or if you need to rent equipment, or if you have an idea that you want to do, and we could talk about it. Also, again, hold on one second, Daniel. This is the first project you can work at in groups, so it doesn't need to be together, be by yourself. So that being said, you could be like, hey, I have an idea. Can you film it? Or, hey, I filmed this. Can you edit it? You can work as a team. Yes, Daniel. Wednesday, sorry. You know what I meant, in the next class. No, you guys have to come on Thursday during a class when I'm doing acting, and I'll tell you that. No, yeah, sorry. I'm going to tell you right now just how my brain works. When I originally taught this class like 7 years ago, it was Tuesday, Thursday. And in my mind, it's the Tuesday, Thursday class. So I'll work. This is the first semester it's back. So now I have to put in my mind that it's Monday, Wednesday. Okay. Let's get into it. Any questions or comments about the PSA? When is it due? Yeah. No, it can be silly. It just has to be persuasive. So it's like, you should do drugs because they're cool. They make you seem cool, you know, like, yeah, they expand your mind or whatever it's going to be. You should smoke because makes you look hella cool. Yeah, something like that. I've seen a lot of those. Yeah, yeah.
Even give us Family Guy stuff.
Yeah. Great. Let's talk today about something important. Half of you, or about 6 of you, are in the editing class. And we've talked already about editing, but the rest of you are in single camera production and are in TV workshop. So we're going to be filming everything, but it's also really important to understand the concept of editing and why we edit things and why we put stuff together. So let's start with like the most basic. We're talking about Premiere editing in the editing class. This is kind of like a bigger overview than that. So we'll get into Premiere and talk about it a little bit, but not really. So we're gonna have a big editing thing next on Wednesday, Daniel. Wednesday, not Thursday. Wednesday, okay? Sorry, I like to tease Daniel. So, okay. Why do we edit stuff though? Make it look good. To create a cohesive story.
Or a cohesive piece of video.
A cohesive piece of video. What do you think? What were you saying, Michael?
I was saying not really, because there's some films that are just nonsense.
That is a good point. That is very.
Absolutely. So then why do we edit? What, Phil? It's also what?
Audio as well.
Cohesive audio. Yeah.
External noise, you can edit that out.
Sure. What? Why? Anybody else? Why do we edit?
Adding sound effects.
That's elements of it. Bryce. Great. Just say the first 2 words again, though. You said to create. So guess what? As filmmakers, as content creators, the point of making an edit is to create a narrative, a story, a perspective. Anything that we watch that has edits in it is somebody's idea being presented to us in some sort of way. Everything we watch is edited and controlled. So when you digest or interpret or take in a TikTok, a film, Insta story, anything that has an edit in it or doesn't have, we'll even talk about not having edits in it. Anything you absorb is from someone else's perspective. You're being shown what somebody wants you to see. So know that every piece of media that we consume has bias in it. Who can tell me what bias is? Yeah, personal perspective. Bias can also be the creator is telling us what they want us to learn. You could edit a video about a trial, or you could edit a video and make one person the villain and one person the hero. And then someone else could edit a video and do the opposite, make the hero seem like a villain and make the villain seem like a hero. You ever see those YouTube videos where it's like, it's The Shining, but a comedy, or it's you know, the ones where they change the genres by changing music and editing styles? That's one of those things. So who can tell me what is a type of media that we can absorb that doesn't have bias or perspective? Is there anything that we watch or can watch that doesn't have bias? No? You don't think so? There's nothing?
I'm gonna make something like this. Like it's 100% fact. The sun will rise tomorrow when the sun rises. It says there.
Well, you're watching a piece of media that says the sun will 100% rise tomorrow. That's from an earthling's perspective, maybe, or Yeah, who's making the content, right? Like, what's the bias? How's it presented? I mean, so like, is there anything you watch that's not edited? A home movie?
I would say like camcorder footage that grandma records Christmas.
So if it's not edited and it's old camcorder footage, what's the bias then?
Bias is grandma's recording you because she loves you and wants to show people that. There's a bias towards you and towards.
Yeah, but even like, let's just take the context of the footage away. What if you just found footage of an old camcorder? What's the bias there? Let's pretend it's not your grandma. You don't know who it is. What's the bias with an old camcorder?
It's just someone, like you said earlier, it's just someone else's perspective. Someone wants to show you something or show someone something. Like, what do you feel about bias?
Whatever the content creator wanted to show. And how does the old camcorder control what they wanted to show? Huh? By showing it? What do you mean?
Like, it's not like they record something they don't want to show you, so it's like they're showing it to you because they want it to be shown.
You're right, but I'm trying to walk you to the right terminology. How does an old camcorder user show you what they want to show? Yeah, probably. All right, okay, great. Please do. Okay, the old camcorder user, oh, here we go. Framing. Hey, that's exactly right, Elise. The framing, which we talked about in the last one. What was Grant able to get the footage? Okay. The framing. So the old camcorder user is putting in their bias by what they pointed the camcorder at. Grandma is pointing it at you because grandma's bias is they love you, right? But grandma could also point away from you and be like, I'm not showing you that, right? Like old footage is like, there's something in the world that we're not seeing. So how the camera moves is a form of editing and bias. The camera movement shows us what the camera person or the person controlling the camera wanted us to see. In an old camcorder footage, how else could bias be created other than the framing? Elise, everyone's looking to you because you nailed that one. That's great. Narration, like especially the old footage, people used to put the audio can be an element there. What, not only what you can see, but what you can hear is all bias. Anything else? The most obvious one is your unedited footage of the old camcorder is actually edited. Now we talked about it. Framing bias, camera bias, audio bias. But what are the edits in the raw footage of your footage? If you got back raw footage, Jason, where are the edits in those? Start and stop. You hit record, you turn off record. Guess what? In-camera editing used to be a thing that we would do back in the day because we didn't have editing systems. I went to college and there was barely digital editing back then. It was super hard to do. It took forever to import your VHS cassette. So a lot of the times we would do in-camera editing. When you're creating a movie on a VHS cassette, how do you in-camera edit then? Well, how is it different than we make films now?
Stop recording, start recording again, just start in a new area.
Right. So if I wanted to make a movie that started here in the TV studio, took place up in SS, and then ended here at the TV studio, I'd have to film it linearly because I didn't have the ability to edit the pieces together. Whereas like when we're filming a film, we would shoot everything in the TV studio, then move all the equipment, film everything in the SS building. So we do the beginning and the end both at the same time or in similar points. So can you all think of the least biased video or content that we could watch? IMAX? Because it's a bigger frame? No, but you're still pointing it, right? Like there's still stuff not there. It's still being edited. A single camera shot, yes. And where can we watch a single continuous camera shot that has no edits? A live stream. A live stream, huh? Well, I think you're talking about a Twitch live stream, right? Is that what you're talking about, a Twitch live stream? So a Twitch live stream has extreme amount of edits. The person you're watching is not only talking to you about their bias and telling you stuff, but they're also showing you stuff. They're playing their game. Or is the person on screen the whole time? If they leave the frame, that's their bias. Let's look at this. For the piece? Yeah. Yeah, about 4 minutes. Use the interview. Oh, here, sorry. Use the interview as a narrative device. Use some audio from the tutor from Dr. Avila from the ceremony. You're gonna have to sync the audio. I don't know if they go for that. Just chilling out watching the jellies. Here, that has everybody's names right here. Airfin was the guy we. Yeah. Thank you. Excited to see what you put together. Okay, what is the bias here? Music, right? So let's just mute it. There's some music. So the music is because again, they put like ethereal music right there. And that music kind of tells us like, oh, it's chill, it's nice. But what if we put like, like death metal or whatever, scream metal or whatever? That would give us different vibes, even though like what music you put in the piece can complement it, or it can like juxtapose it with a different style of music. You ever watch a movie where it's like nice content, but they do put aggressive stuff over it? It gives a different vibe, right? So what else? What other bias is this? Well, okay, it has the screen. It's Monterey Bay. We're just watching the jelly tank, right? There's no edits. This just continually goes all day long. It's live, if we believe that. Oh yeah, it is absolutely live. Someone took a photo. Yeah, we saw someone take a photo. See, so it totally is live, right? It's not edited, and it's just these jellyfish go on all day long. Well, the watermark is, let's just say it didn't have a burnt in live bug. That tells us, it's branding, so we can't steal it for ourselves. So, I mean, this is probably the content that has the least amount of bias. It's literally a camera pointed at a thing. But again, the person had to choose the framing, right? That when they initially set this up, they didn't like just put the camera down and hit record and walk away. This was a composited shot. We don't see the edge of the tank. We don't see where this could even be. I've watched this a bunch. I never realized you could see the because no one's ever taken a photo while I was watching it. So I didn't even like, honestly, I was like, is it even real? Like I assumed like they could probably loop it. Like, how long am I actually gonna sit here and watch this, right? Like, and what's interesting is if we go to YouTube, oh, I think oh man, they turn their captions off. Some of these crazy, you ever watch any of the YouTube like live streams where
There's comments.
look, but it has names. This is extremely biased, right? This one's a Chuck Norris. There you go. This is a look, and there's a nest box. Look, we saw them lay some eggs. You can see that these are all things to continue to get people to watch and stream or whatever, right? They're one. Let me see if I can't find the one. Let's see. Live camera.
There's like 30 some cats. They all have their own little feeding thing. Llama,
Okay, check this out. 76 people are currently watching this. It said just 76. Now, I know there are certain things like this. This is the closest we have to Jackson Hole. Yeah. So, I mean, look how many people are on the street currently. I mean, and there's Eagle cams and stuff, but our bias is whatever's put up there. Now, I used to watch for a while. There was like a famous one of these that we would watch, and it was funny because the commenters would go crazy anytime like a yellow car would drive by. Like all the comments like yellow, yellow, yellow. So like I always loved, yeah, look, hey, good day, Ftve. Look, they know each other. Wait, I guess they can read each other's names, but hi, Bill. Hi, Heather. Not stopping. I have a meeting in 10 minutes. Okay, Bill. Hope you sleep well. Ta for now. Thanks, Bill. Morning to a wet J-hole. Oh my gosh. I think it's wet in Jackson Hole is what they're saying. Oh, what's this? Is this a hearse? That's a weird camper shell though. Look, subscriber mode only. Only channel subscribers of 6 weeks or longer can send messages. Well, we'll check back later. Look, red truck right there. Red truck. So this is like, I bring this up. Jacksonville Hole at Yeah Buddy Pizza. So just think about this. You could put this up and be content farming. Tons of that. I wonder if they have merch or anything. Look, they got 187,000 subscribers. And look, 79 are currently watching. Look at this. Ready to see Jackson Hole? Oh, you know I am. Let's check out the live views at Jackson Hole. What the? What? Why would you? Holy jeez. Oh, let's look at this one. Wow. You could just.
Because like if you're looking at weather and there's like a forest going up there, and the live weather.
3 people are watching the ski slope. 3 people are watching the ski slope right now. It's pretty crazy. Okay. All right. Enough with Jackson Hole. We'll check in 5 weeks when we can comment. Okay. Okay. So I say all of that to say, let me move this stuff up. So that when we make the edits, we need to be aware that anytime that we edit something, we are implanting our own bias. We can edit a piece and be like, I'm going to make this person look good. I can make this person look bad. You can see we're playing around with a mask right here in our editing class, but let's take a look over here. Okay, let's go into here. That one. Everything's offline because I messed it up. All right, what's this? Ftve News. Hey, Marty, actually, are you leaving? I want to ask a question for all these people. What makes a good edit versus a bad edit?
Pacing, it feels shorter than it actually is. Engagement, you know, we don't doze off, forget what we're watching in the middle of watching it. For specific set of words here.
No, I'm just curious what you think makes a good edit versus a bad edit. In my opinion, thank you, Marty. I appreciate that. All good answers. In my opinion, as an editor, the best edits are ones you don't even realize are edits. A goal of an editor is to make a seamless edit. So what does that mean? That means when we make an edit and it's obvious that there's an edit, like there's a jump cut, right? For example,
whatever items that you want to have.
all right, so let's just mute that.
And then the mail.
So let's make a very obvious edit with our interview here.
Card. So certain criteria there.
Okay. I'm just going to make a random edit right here. Hopefully I'm not that good of an editor to mess this up. Okay. Let's put our edit together. So basically I'm joining one footage. Ooh, I don't want to do that. What I'm doing is I'm taking one part of the piece and putting it next to each other. And therefore, and I've cut out stuff. Therefore, I've created an edit. We make an edit by putting one image next to another. You made an edit in your framing pieces by just putting your MCU next to your medium shot, or however, just by putting two images together, you're forming an edit. Two images together. And that's because those two images together become a sequence. Even if it's just, if I just held up two images together, it's my phone and my wallet. What does this mean? Now I'm telling you a story. What does this mean to you? Okay. Could it mean something else? What else could this mean? What? I'm saying what? I couldn't hear what you said. Okay, thank you, Daniel. I'm getting ready to go. Great. There you go. Well, it could mean whatever you want. You're interpreting it because all I'm doing is I'm giving you two images. Now, as the creator, I would need to maybe give you another image to really tell you what it is. So here, image one, phone. Image two, wallet. Image three is my face. Now what's the story? All right. That's one interpretation. What else? Off about my phone or wallet. See, there's all interpretations. We just want to be clear with our edits. Right here, what we're doing up here is, let's watch happen. I put one piece of the video next to the other piece of video. Let's see what happens.
Card.
All right, let's put the audio through the right device. Yeah, let's do that. That's the ticket. Nope, wrong thing. I want to go here to settings, audio hardware. I want to go to, there you go. Yes. Yes, great.
So certain criteria there, ISAI stands for, and ISAI stands for.
Okay. What do we think about that edit? Abrupt. Yes. Who knows what this type of edit is called? Jump cut. Correct. Jump cut is when you have a similar framed image and you put it next to each other. Okay. So you're making an edit. Also, there's a bad audio edit there, right? She's in the middle of one word and it cuts to another, which makes it an obvious edit. Have you ever watched something and been like, oh, like the edit is so bad that it suspends your disbelief of watching the piece? And you're like, oh, why did it do that? I know we watched Liam Neeson jump over the fence in 12 takes, but can you think of something we watched today that had a bad edit in it?
Say color transitions from first AI one. Making the logo, there's like 5 colors.
How about the end of that one? Where it just,
Cuts off.
yeah, we're just cut off at the, yeah, that one, exactly. That one just ends in the middle of a sentence. That's a bad edit that not only like woke me up, I realized, oh, I got to watch this again. This is definitely a very weird piece. And it turned out to be AI submitted piece from a student. Okay. So that really represents what a bad cut can do to a movie. And what's that? It it breaks our suspension of disbelief. So we've stopped watching the movie and now we realize we're watching something that someone put together. And that's the worst place to be, is if someone's thinking about, oh, the edit, what was the editor doing? Instead of thinking about the climax of the film, will the planet's fish population be saved? No, we're too busy thinking about what did this person do to put this together, right? Yeah, why did it put this way? So what if we do a jump cut? Now, there was a jump cut in another piece we watched. Do you remember what PSA had a jump cut in it? Yes, it was. Yeah. Headphones one, right? In the headphones one, let's see if we still have is the headphones one still up? Let's check it out. We were too busy watching Jackson Hole recycling. Maybe we lost it. There, we got the sideways one. Overfishing. Okay, I don't have the headphones one up again. And it's not worth it. Maybe it is. Is it? No. But the jump cut was basically at one point, you could tell that you can tell that probably, oh, good job. I didn't see this but good job right there. Hearted it. CCTV footage. Yeah, exactly. That was the one bias I was trying to get you to. So we saw the jump cut was he had his footage. He's like, okay, and the last thing I want to tell you, and then it jump cut because either he messed up, he probably cursed or something, and then took it out because he's like, oh no, my teacher will be upset if he hears him say the F word. Oh, I would really be mad if I heard the F word. It'd be terrible. You don't even know. I'd be like very mad if you said, what? Oh my gosh, please don't say that. That's really terrible. Okay, so that being said, we've talked about this, I think, a couple times. Let's imagine we have a good edit. Now, watch this. The power of editing. We have this person. We were all here for the interview. Okay. All right, let's just pull this out a little bit.
And we determine if you're.
Okay. So originally she says, if anyone knows what SAI stands for. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this.
AI stands for.
SAI stands for, what do you think that stands for? SAI. Okay,
We determine if your index shows that you're negative 1,500 to 0, then you are eligible, and we add you to the no card list. And as of right now, there's a certain limit that we add to every student's account.
okay.
Student.
Oh, shoot. What did I do that? I messed that up. Okay, hold on a second.
But allows you to go to the cafeteria where you know right now are eligible, and we add you to the no card list. And as of right now, there's a certain limit that we add to every student's account.
Okay, here we go.
Every student. Add to.
All right, so basically what I am going to do is I am using my bias as the editor to reframe this story.
Every
Okay, so what does SAI stand for?
student. Every student.
Student, right? So I'm actually going to go through and make this subject say student by highlighting students. Okay, there. Now SEI, right? Is that what we're looking for? SEI? SAI stands for student. We have students. Oh, great. Let's find a count.
Now, there's a certain limit that we add to count that as eligible.
A count is too obvious. Let's get another A word.
But allows you to go to the cafeteria but allows you.
Okay, good. Let's student allows students
Allows you to go.
allows.
Allows.
So what we're doing is we are creating fiction, right? This person is saying something that they didn't say. We are Bright. Oh, Bryce left. We are doing exactly what Bryce said at the beginning of class, is we're creating.
Students allowed. Students allowed.
SEI, we need an I word.
You go to the cafeteria, whether you know my campus or Hollister campus. And get snacks directly from the cafe. And that's on a monthly basis. And we load that same amount of money the following month. So you're eligible for that throughout the entire semester. And it doesn't have to be added at the beginning, you can come in any time during this. Pretty much, yeah. We do say barring funding, right? As funding allows, we typically like to say get in as soon as possible because we are not guaranteed funding will last throughout the entire semester. So it would be beneficial for students to actually apply for it. But we accept throughout the entire year.
I words are.
So we do offer housing assistance in 3 capacities. The first is unhoused students, students that might be couch surfing, students that might be living in their car, students might be living in a hotel. That is
Okay, I'm good. I'm getting too in the weeds. Sorry, everybody. I wanted to make it, but let's just say I found an I word and pretend, and we can see that like if we do this edit.
it's allowed,
Okay, let's
or if your index shows that
index right there. Awesome. Student allows index.
you're,
Okay.
and we determine if your index shows
Okay. And that's a clean index right there. So,
index shows.
okay. So I'm actually, all right. So then, let's put this together. Now we made an edit. Let's listen to this beautiful piece of work.
Students allowed index.
Perfect, right? Everyone who hears that is going to believe that was real, right? Yeah, right? Seems real? Seems like a good edit? I'm being sarcastic. No, why is this a bad edit? Frankenbites. And it's notable for what reason? These are obvious. So the YouTube poop or the Frankenbites are obvious because they are bad edits. What about this makes it a bad edit? Why does it feel stuttery though? Too many jump cuts in too short a period, right? Okay, so boom. Okay, here. Sorry, it's on full. Let me put it on quarter. Here we go. Right? Like her body's moving. How? But we're evil editors, right? We want to make this perfect sound good. What would we do to fix it? Daniel, what do you think? Use the other angle. All right, let's check this out. Good call. We have two angles here, right? All right. So, will this work? Let's watch. All right, Daniel, good guess. Didn't work. Why? Because it's too quick edits, right? We flip back. We shot two angles so that in the editing process, I would be able to cut back and forth. But if it was just like one edit, it would feel more smooth rather than going quick. Because it's single words, we're looking at the word allows is right here. If you look right here, this is called time code. Every video that we record or content has this built into it. Time code tells you what part of the video it's in. Notably, you can look here. This is the entire sequence times code versus the entire clip time code here. I did an in and out point. Who can tell me how much time this is just by reading it? Huh? How long? A second and a half? No, it's not a second and a half. I'm going to tell you right now. 0.00000008. How long is that? These are frames. So it's not 0.8 seconds either, because how many frames per second is our video? 24, right? We talked about 24 frames per second. So 8 frames is actually 1/3 of a second, right? So we've selected, she says the word allows in 1/3 of a second. That's why it sounds. Thank you. What? Okay. Santi said he got it. Grant brought it. Grant has the camera. Did you bring the camera also? Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, so looking here, right here, when we read time code, we always read it like this. The lowest number is frames. Frames are a piece of a second. So like I said, based off of your sequence settings is going to base off of how many frames you could have. So in my sequence, I'm editing on a 23.98. Technically, let's just round up and say 24 frames per second. But if we look over here and I scrub here, note the frames will move as the second moves. And if I press the over button, I'm going frame by frame all the way up to 23, and then it goes back down to 0. And when it goes down to 0, the next one over jumps up. What do you think the next number represents right here? It's 12 over here, but it's 0 over here. What do you think that one represents? No. So if this number right here, the 0 represents the frames, and when it goes from 23 to 0, and this 11 becomes a 12, what do you think the 11 or 12 represents? It's time, but if it's frames, then what's this one? What's bigger than a frame? There are 24 frames in what? 1 second, okay? So 24 frames then goes into seconds. Full second. If they're, look, so we're going from 23. Watch, I'm just going to press over. Watch right here. See right here? And I'd make it bigger, but I can't, unfortunately. You can watch, I'm going backwards right now, but look, we're at 0 and it says 11. Now I'm going to go frame by frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Boom, it goes back to 0 and our 11 became a 12. So there's 24 frames in a second. Then we can see there's 12 seconds here. What do you think this 57 represents? Minutes. And then what do you think these zeros over here represents? Hours. That's what if you see these numbers on your frame. Now blue, this one's blue and it represents my playhead. This is the scrub bar that I'm going right here. Anytime I move the playhead, you'll note that this number will change. Also, the image that the playhead is over is changing. And that is showing me what is below this. The playhead shows me what is on the screen, this is called my program screen. My program screen shows me what is on my sequence right here. And this right here shows me where on my sequence. So notably, where the playhead is at, it's 57 minutes in, it's 57 minutes, 12 seconds, and 14 frames in. If I zoom out of my entire sequence or timeline down here, we can see that if we go all the way to 0 over here, I've laid all of the interviews out on this timeline. So the interview with Ruth is here. Oh, we were messing with that. So there's Ruth. I have some audio down here that doesn't have video for some reason. And then I have my playhead. Now, what's notable though, is I scrubbed and this has changed, right? Like, look, now it's 12 minutes, 4 seconds, 15 frames. But why is this one still at 8 frames? Any guesses? Wrong guesses are accepted. Nope. It's wrong because this number over here represents my in and out points. So if I do an in and an out point on my timeline, it's basically me measuring how long something is. So basically, I can see these blue lines up here represent the in and out points. So if I want to say, how long was this entire interview? I'm going to say I for in. And look, this whole gray part got bigger. And look, this gray number is now 10 minutes, 22 seconds and 0 frames. So basically, my in and out point, I can use to help judge how long my piece is going to be, or I can judge how long a shot is going to be. Who knows, like, what's the ideal shot for a human brain to register, like, and comfortably register? Yeah. 3 seconds. A 3-second edit you'll take it in your mind, you'll interpret what it is and go from there. Anything shorter than that kind of will be a flash frame. Kind of possibly you could blink through and miss it also. It doesn't mean you can't edit less than 3 seconds. Just know that, like, you're risking that your subject might blink and miss it. There's literally shots in some movies that you blink and miss it. Anybody know Fight Club? How many people have seen Fight Club? Yeah. Great. Way more than I expected. Jason, yes, Fight Club? Really? Great. Fincher's great. Fight Club, they speak about the flash frame. Who knows what a flash frame is? They work at a movie theater and they are talking about putting a flash frame into a kid's movie, right? Right? They edit a single frame of porn into a kid's movie because the main character is all about chaos. But what do you think a flash frame is, since we're talking about editing? A single frame, right? And it's too quick, one frame, so 1/24th of a second is too hard for us to register unless we've seen it again or it's something familiar. You can definitely put it in. Most likely, it's a flash. I see them all the time in editing mistakes because I'm an editor. It could be subliminal, but like for me, who is like a hyper editor, I notice I'm like, that's an error, because unless it's intentional, right? And let me tell you all this, the rule of editing. This is the best editing advice I can offer you. This is all within our basic purview of editing. I tell film students this all the time. When you put something that's unique in your piece, if it happens once, what do I always say, Jason? I forgot my little thing. Oh yeah, first one's the mistake. Thank you, Colin. First one's the mistake. I can't believe I blanked on it. I love saying this all the time. If you do it once, it's a mistake. If you do it 2 times, it's a coincidence. But if you do it 3 times, it's intentional. It's an active choice that you made, right? I'm going to put this single flash frame of porn into my piece, but I need to do it 3 times so that people know I did it on purpose, right? Because you might know, hey, bias-wise, my video of Jackson Hole, and I put in, a flash frame once in there. I know it was intentional, but the audience subjectively won't, or subconsciously might not know it or might not feel it. They might feel it subconsciously, but you don't know the intentionality of it. So 3 is a golden rule. That's like a rule in comedy. That's a rule in art. 3 makes a pattern. And if you do that intentionally. And so everyone who hasn't seen Fight Club, I'll spoil something that's non-story wise. The characters actively talk about editing in porn into a kid's movie, and David Fincher puts in a flash frame of porn at the end of Fight Club as like a joke against the audience. So excellent movie. Okay. I'm not supposed to talk about Fight Club. Yeah. Okay. I don't fight. I've never been in a fight. You're not supposed to talk about Fight Club. The TV studio is the closest thing to a basement, I think. We could do a Fight Club if we wanted. Geronimo. Okay. That being said, I'm going to stop sharing. That's kind of the concept. We are talking about the bigger brain concept of why we edit and what we edit. Do you have any questions? Yes. What's the best way of keeping yourself from getting a lot of jump cuts? So like if we go back to, oh, there goes gravity. Oh, if you want to put them together, and you have 2 different films, go and make the edit smooth, make them intentional. The shots should be 3 seconds long, probably. If they're slower than that and you're cutting back and forth, like we did on here with our interview subject where it bounced back and forth too much, we got, this is too much together. That's too fast. But maybe if it was 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds, in fact, let's take a look at what 3 seconds looks like. Look, you can see when I drag it, my duration is going to show me. I'm looking at the white number under there. Now that's 3 seconds long. Great. We're going to ignore audio just for the sake of this experiment. Let's do this. Let's make this clip now 3 seconds long. I'm going to rubber band it together. I'm going to drag this out. And we're going to do 3 seconds. All right, let's watch our clip now.
AI stands for students account that is, but allows you to go to the cafeteria, whether they're on campus or index.
Okay. That felt like a bad edit because the audio, right? The audio is messed up. I just was randomly showing it. But if we objectively look at it from just the images, again, I'll mute the audio. Just think of it, are we getting confused as the jumps back and forth? Felt better, right? I still think the edits are like her head placement could be better. And honestly, if I was going to go ahead, I might even like reframe it. AI could definitely fix it. It would put in some fish or something, right? And we make it a not jump cut by putting together the framing is very similar, right? They're both pretty wide MCUs, almost medium shots of the interviews, right? But if we go ahead and make it more of a close-up, I don't want to go full close-up, but if we do a cut like this to a cut like that, that makes it not a jump cut because we're completely, it's the same person, but we're reframing it. And in fact, it's not a jump cut because we jump to the other angle of the camera. But if we do this, it's the same camera, just cropped in. Will this be a jump cut? No, it feels smoother. It's a little jumpy still, but going from a wide to a close-up makes it a different shot. So that's something you can think about if you have to make an edit. The other way that we could make an edit is to put B-roll over this, which would be cover video, whatever they're talking about, we would put on top and actually cut away from the subject. Do I have it in here? Let me see. Well, let's just, all right. Let's just find, let's see. Okay. Let's just pretend that this is B-roll. All right. So she's talking. It's a long shot. She's talking. And then she's talking about soccer and how awesome Ftve News is. And she loves it. And it's the best thing in the world. And now she comes back. And there we go. We hit our edit by going to a specific B-roll. Yeah.
You want to keep like the short cuts? They're like an equivalent of like a cross fade, so it's like seamless or smooth.
There are edits we'll talk about in the future. I'm going to tell you right now, they almost never look good or work. Yeah, we'll talk more about that, but I don't know why you would want to keep those. If number one, you would do that if and only if you had B-roll. I would never chop up a bite that small into like words unless I knew I had cover video to go to.
Okay, because I was thinking if you just keep the same video.
If you keep the same video, the lips won't match, or the dissolve is going to give an uncanny valley effect. We'll get there in editing class. In fact, I'll show it to you on Wednesday. All right. But any questions? I feel like I've been talking for 2 hours. Any questions or comments? If not, we'll go into lab now and we can talk about doing your PSAs if you need help, or you can talk to me about anything else you want moving forward. We filmed a Ftve News today. And we'll see it hopefully tomorrow, but we were out for the topping ceremony of the new building. And Geronimo flew some drone footage. What? Oh yeah, based king. Okay, cool. I'm gonna stop recording.